Hello, What Culture? My name is Simon Miller, and as you already know, you click the play button, or whatever button you click the title. You click the title on the video, which means we're about to go through the latest episode of Monday Night Raw. We're going to give the good bits an up, and we're going to give the bad bits a down. But before we do that, I just want to give a shout out. I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out and said hello during the All-In/Starrcade weekend, and the people that came and joined us for a kind of live ups and downs as soon as All In was done. I thought it was awesome. I had a great time, and from the bottom of my heart, I really did. Well, I just thought it was wonderful. I thought it was a wonderful little occasion all around. Let's up those downs. Raw kicked off with Braun Strowman and his new posse of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out, and even though Braun is meant to be a heel now, everybody cheered. Good work, team. Up. The highlight of all of this is when Braun asked to show the footage of what happened last week, where he did indeed turn his back on everybody and joined up with Ziggler and McIntyre. But because the video that was shown was one of these high-end, high-quality WWE videos, it looked like Braun Strowman had spent the last 7 days putting this together. Imagine Braun Strowman trying to use Premiere Pro. He would go crazy. Braun continued trying to be a bad guy, but when he said he was going to decimate Roman Reigns, everybody cheered again. So really, WWE, just see what happens. Don't push it too much, and certainly don't give him lines like, I don't care what the fans think. You did that here. Just let it play out and let it see. You could also argue that it's a bit weird Braun Strowman, this person that's meant to be the monster among men, all of a sudden needs backup. I mean, think what he's done in the past. He's flipped ambulances, but whatever. The real problem is that when Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler had to talk, they were given words so scripted, I thought I was sat in some school watching a GCSE play. Down. Soon the Shield came out through the crowd, and the experiment is working because I didn't hear one jeer here at all. Before Baron Corbin, he appeared on the aisle and he's like, quick everybody, mush, mush, go down there and stop the Shield. But clearly all these guys were rubbish at their jobs because Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins just kicked ass for a little bit. Led to the brawl between the two teams, and I guess it was fine, it was okay, but it's certainly not as good as some of the brawls WWE has done in recent memory. Really, it just kind of feels like they hotshotted this too soon, because there's no real friction between the Shield, I don't know, Braun Strowman's happy guys is what I'll call them, Braun Strowman happy guys. It only just started, and now they're having a big pull-apart brawl. Again though, at one point Braun Strowman was held back by just one dude. Why have we forgotten about Braun's character all of a sudden just because he's a bad guy now? He's supposed to be able to whip anybody. But whatever, he'll be super dominant again soon, and eventually the constable was sick of this, so he arrested the Shield. I don't know why anybody else was arrested, but the Shield, they got arrested, they got driven away to the local police HQ. What exactly they did, I have no idea. I mean, they just turned up for a wrestling event and wanted to wrestle, but apparently that's against the law, but whatever. It was the start of a show-long story, and I like show-long stories. Yeah, no. Then the Bellas officially returned and beat the Riot Squad. Down. Now, I ain't trying to be a hater here, but from the overly long ring introduction to the match itself, this just felt like WWE trying too hard. And I'm taking nothing away from the Bellas here and what they've achieved, but it just felt like one big advert and like it was a little too much on the nose. There's better ways to do this, and as for the match itself, it was kind of just there. The scariest part coming when Brie Bella went to do a dive and pretty much face planted herself, but I think she's okay and that's all that matters. But it was scary. I was like, oh no. Bella's won after the Rack Attack 2.0, and the real shame is that the Riot Squad pretty much felt absolutely redundant here. I don't know. I just ain't that excited about the Bellas coming back. Just not, can't lie. I think they were better off doing whatever they were doing. And then we just went into backstage stereotypical Raw skits, and I don't know what to give them when they're like this. I mean, it was just so by the numbers. Baron Corbin was on the phone. He was telling Stephanie not to worry because he had the Shield arrested. Then Finn Balor came and he said, hey, I want a match with you. Baron Corbin said, okay. All right, that was it. I guess he gets an up. Then, however, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode teamed up to beat the Ascension. Why? Down. Now, if you want to make Gable and Roode a tag team, sure, do it. Why not? They ain't got anything else going on. But why couldn't we plant some seeds here and make it a story? Instead, it was just a promo before the match where Chad Gable kind of admitted to stalking Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode was like, haha, I love being stalked. Then they went out and, like I said, beat the Ascension. That was that. Chad Gable did look awesome, as he always does when he's actually allowed to perform on television. But yeah, I hope we do more with this, because at the moment, it was just like, it was so out of left field. It was like somebody had kicked me and I was looking over there, so I wasn't ready for it, but my neck still got broken. Nobody wants that. Elias gets an up though, even though I have no idea what his role is now meant to be. It seems to change every week, but this was entertaining. Here he arrived and insulted the fans by saying that Christopher Columbus would have turned his damn ship around if he had known that this town was going to be called after him. You know, they were in Columbus. I just thought that was a very good line. And then continued to diss Michigan for the duration of the segment, and everybody booed him. And that was that. After a while, Alicia Fox, Mickie James, and Alicia Fox arrived. They had a bit of banter between the two, but then we found out we were getting Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. And he just walked off. Okay. As you can imagine, James and Fox kept getting involved, but eventually Alexa Bliss locked on the armbar of all things and made Natalya tap out, and I like that. It's like a shot at Ronda Rousey, who was at ringside, getting up. There was plenty post-match shenanigans as well, as Ronda Rousey beat up Alexa Bliss for a little bit, and Alexa Bliss beat up Ronda Rousey for a little bit. Also, if you're interested, go and find the clip of Ronda Rousey hurling Alicia Fox around, how her arm stayed in the socket. I have absolutely no idea. This was fine, probably won't affect anything going forward, and was really just a reminder, hey, this person likes this person, but this person doesn't like this person, and yeah, soon we'll do something, but for now we just needed to get from A to B. We've done it. Let's move on to C. And C was indeed getting a load of stuff thrown at our faces just in case we even thought about changing the channel. It was like I was on drugs, but hey, giving it up. Began with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler going to Baron Corbin and saying, look, screw the Revival, we want a tag team title shot, and if you don't give it to us, well, we'll go take it anyway. And Baron's a bit like, well, do whatever you want, man. We'll have to see what's going to happen. And then Braun went into the constable face and said, also, I want some competition. Corbin once again stood there like the goof that he is, but then we cut to the Revival, who were given a pre-match promo, and you already know what happened. That's right. Say goodbye to the Revival. They're now officially drobbers because Drew and Dolph arrived, beat the crap out of them, and now they're going to take their title shot. That is the equivalent of Manchester United laying waste to Huddersfield before an FA Cup final, and the ref and everyone else going, yeah, that's fine, Man United. You be in the damn cup final. We don't give two shits. And that makes no sense to anyone that doesn't watch soccer, but I don't know, that's just the first analogy I came up with. This all resulted in exactly what you expect. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler beat the B team. We got new tag team championships, although, against my better judgment, getting up. This was mainly because it was entertaining, tied into the story, and thankfully, the B team didn't get jobbed out. I mean, you know, they kind of got their asses whooped. They didn't do too much, but the match, it went a good amount of time, and was all said and done, you could put your hands on them and go, okay, cool, we got new tag team champions, which is always good, and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, you can still hold your heads up high. It also means that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins can now go after these tag team titles. I don't mind seeing those matches, although I am going to throw a quick down in, because throughout the entirety of this episode, if you didn't know that Seth Rollins was the IC champion, WWE had no intention of telling you, and yeah, if they're going after the tag belts, the IC championship continues to get stomped into the ground, and I'm sick of it. Hence why I just gave it a down. The power of a down. Dolph and Drew also did look very good, and that cool blue lighting they give them makes them feel like big deals, and I enjoy that. I like it when I see other people, you know, feeling like a big deal. I can then take that feeling and rub it on my own face, feel like a big deal. Simon Miller's big deal. Face rub. Coming soon. And then from nowhere, we found out that Drake Maverick, who, yes, is the general manager of 205 Live, is now in charge of the Authors of Pain. I mean, you tell me. I don't know. This guy over here don't know, and he doesn't even exist. I made him up, but getting up. It wasn't really addressed as to why the AOP had decided to go to Maverick and go, hey, Mav, you want to be our manager? We're not doing so well. Sometimes we're not on TV and we lose all the time. But whatever, they then whip the ass of some jobbers, and if this is their like rehab and they do go after the tag team titles, I'm going to be alright with it because they're a really good team. I will say this, Drake Maverick, your little smile that you kept doing throughout this segment is, well, is a little bit creepy. Just a little bit, and you're very talented. Former Rockstar Spud, you can pretty much give him anything and it'll make it work, but yeah, just tone down just the creepiness just a little bit. I kind of felt like, I don't know, you were a kid at Christmas and you finally got what you wanted, but you only got what you wanted because you manipulated your parents. That's a dark tale. And then, hilariously, we got the most unintentional funny segment of the evening. Now, we're going to give it a down in terms of the counters here, so yeah, we're going to put a down on the counter, but in my head, it's getting an up because it was ridiculous. So we are indeed going to get Ronda Rousey and the Bellas going against the Riot Squad at the Australian Great Super Showdown, or whatever that Down Under pay-per-view is called. And that's cool, I don't care, whatever, great. But here, not only did Brie and Nikki tell Ronda that she was the reason they've come back to the women's division, but they also offered to train her. Now, fair play to them, they were referring to things away from the squared circle, so like management. I think they mentioned something about a clothing line. But do you think a former gold medalist, a former UFC champion, and the current Raw Women's Champion needs training or needs any help, especially with two people that have vanished for the last few years? That was utterly ludicrous. I think she's doing all right. And also, Natty Neidhart walked away from this scene because she felt sad and everyone just forgot about her. Poor Natty Neidhart getting thrown into the toilet just because the Bella twins are back. Nerd. Stupid. WWE then played up to nostalgia next, and you know what that means. It's the best segment of the night. Up. Shawn Michaels arrived, pimped some merchandise and pimped himself, but really, the message he had was simple. At the Great Australian Showdown Super Night 10,000 times 7, Triple H and The Undertaker are going at it, and as much as he respects The Undertaker, Triple H has more in the tank, therefore Triple H is gonna win. From nowhere, that legendary bong hit, however, and The Undertaker did indeed roll back into Raw, and the only thing that I'm confused about is that the commentators were making out, no one knew this was coming, I can't believe it. How did I know? I somehow knew this. Did I read it online? I can't remember. I'm tired because I've been in Chicago, so I'm jet lagged. So I'm like, I knew. So they were going crazy, and I was like, it's great. I'm loving it. Loves to go and take on Raw. It felt like electric. But I was where? I had the information in my brain. Anyway, the dead man told HBK the only reason he's saying this is because every time he's fought Triple H or Shawn Michaels throughout their 25-year career, whatever it is, he's put them down every time. When you think about it, that is kind of true. We also went into super tease mode here to make you think that maybe Shawn Michaels will come out of retirement and take on The Undertaker, but I don't think that's going to happen. And it was mostly done so people like us will talk about it, and we're talking about it. But this did a great job in both setting up Triple H and Undertaker in Australia, as well as if you ever wanted to do it, give you a reason to do Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker one more time. Can you imagine that? Imagine we did that, everybody would lose their damn minds. Really then, this was just a good old-fashioned hype segment and it worked wonderfully. I'm more interested in that match and I just liked all of this. Well done, WWE. Afterwards, Sasha Banks and Bayley defeated the team of Dana Brooke and Ember Moon. Now you may be asking yourself, why all of a sudden was Ember Moon on the heel side of the equation? I do not have the answers for you. All I do know is down. Eventually, Sasha got the win after a victory roll on Dana, and Dana then quit Titus Worldwide. Controversial time next as Bobby Lashley made his way onto Monday Night Raw. And again, he actually cut quite a decent promo after he'd come out of Baron Corbin's office. I like his new attitude. He's all silly, you know, he's a bit quirky, but he's damn serious at the same time because Bobby Lashley, and he's massive. Anyway, Corbin doesn't like Bobby Lashley, so he's told him to go to the ring and have some kind of, I don't know, sedative seminar with Jinder Mahal. I mean, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, kill me. Kill me. Maybe I'll kill myself just so I don't have to watch this. And it got even more difficult because halfway through, Kevin Owens, yes, the man who quit Raw 7 days ago, returned and he whooped Bobby Lashley's ass. Now, here's the problem. On the one hand, this one, I got a kick out of it because I wasn't expecting Owens to return so soon. So yeah, it got a reaction from me, and that is all wrestling is. If you get a reaction, you've probably done something right. However, on the other, he only walked away 1 week ago, so why on earth can we never wait just a little bit to make these things mean something? And if he's going into a program with Bobby Lashley, there's only one outcome there, and it ain't Kevin Owens winning. Bobby Lashley will be victorious in that feud. So we've got to wait and see. We have to always wait and see. But if I'm going to take it in the context it was presented to me less than 24 hours ago, I'm going to give it an up. Also found out that next week we're going to get Triple H and Mick Foley on Raw. That will get an up. But also that somehow The Shield had already been charged and released from jail. Now, I don't know how that works. I don't know what the process is, but I don't think you can go through all of that in the space of less than 3 hours. It would have been better if WWE hadn't said anything. It made a mockery of their whole narrative. Down. It then was our main event featuring Finn Balor, but instead of taking on Baron Corbin, there'd been a switcheroo and Braun Strowman was in his place because of course Raw's run by a crazy bad guy. He hates everyone and he's ruling with power he shouldn't have. But up. Finn got some offense in, but mostly this was the Strowman show and he eventually won with the power slam. They didn't run this time, just did like a normal power slam. I was like, that's not cool. Don't job out Finn Balor. And then you would know what happened. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler got in the ring, started putting the boots to people, and it was like, oh no, bad guy beatdown. So we needed a trio of heroes to arrive and save the day, and that was The Shield. Again though, The Shield came out in the police van that they'd been driven off in at the start of the show. So what happened? They got charged with assault or whatever, and then said, look, can we borrow your truck? We need to get back to our show. The police went, yeah, sure, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, you can do that. We don't need it for anything else. That was stupid. Anyway, before the Shield could do much of anything, Kevin Owens arrived again, and he started whooping their ass, and he brought half the Raw locker room with him too. Why all of a sudden the Raw locker room hates the Shield, I don't know, but hopefully, it will get explained to me next week. The episode went off air with Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler standing there all going, "Whoa!" Well, basically the heel standing tall. And this was a really weird episode of Raw, and I watched it the whole time kind of feeling that maybe I'd injected something into my eye, and that's why everything was so nuts. It was enjoyable though. You can't say that it was enjoyable, and a lot happened. And if you go through all the tick boxes, we saw a lot of surprises, and we saw a lot of changes, and maybe WWE did that to try and make everyone forget about a little something that happened this weekend. But I don't know, I'm just speculating, but yeah, I'll give the whole episode a big thumbs up. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Then you head over to WhatCulture.com and you read yourself some articles, and you follow WhatCulture on that there Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for watching. I will admit I'm very tired today, not complaining, just letting you know in case I said anything stupid. And once more, a big thanks and loads of love for all the wonderful things that happened in Chicago. I had a great time. Hopefully you had a great time. But anyway, I'll see you in 24 hours or so when we up those SmackDown downs. Why do they do it to me? I guess we could say up the SmackDowns, but that just sounds sexual. I don't want to up any SmackDowns. That's going to hurt. Mostly hurt me. See you soon.